Distance Nerding.
Hey, and we're back.
Woo!
I don't hear. I'm
You know
just
what?
kidding. I'm just
Shut
kidding.
up. Don't mess
Just
with me right now.
kidding.
I just spent 30 minutes
So sorry. Such a rude
There
joke.
is a
I
decent
apologize.
working
chance,
on this.
There's
I
a decent
apologize.
chance that you will be strangled.
That was
if you do that.
very
I may murder James tonight.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now experiencing distance nerding. I am young Phil. They are the Shadoo, and he
That's
is the
one only.
James 5000.
and
And
we're here to nerd
Nerd
together.
Together.
Nailed it for the 270th time. Talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Listen on any podcast app and drop us a 5-star review because it does help us out so very much. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, all the places at Distance Nerding. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to represent that Distance Nerding family, of course, we got merch, people. So you can head over to our new website, www.streamlabs.com/distance nerding/merch. And you can get you some of that sweet merch. So let's get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned into the worst kept secret on all of the internet. I say it every week, but it's true. Because we're not that much of a secret anymore. We are the worst kept secret on the internet. You are now watching Distance Nerding.
Was
All
there
right.
for that video? I couldn't hear anything. I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
That one I know you're messing with me because it's on a different audio stream, and I know that one's actually playing. So,
All right.
so let's jump right into this. James, tell all the kids what we're going to be talking about today on the deck.
On this episode, DC found its maxima, Marvel is putting in maximum effort into Deadpool, and Star Wars is maxing out on Maul stories. Oh my god, and so much more, including CinemaCon.
CinemaCon is the place to be. Our boy Joe Deckelmeyer's out there right now.
And Brandon.
And Brandon Davis, PD's out there having a good time too. So I am 100% jealous. I want to be living your guys' lives, but let's get into all the stories that we got going on. Well, actually, before that, ladies and gentlemen, James, tell everybody who brings the show to them here.
Check out Colossus Girl Entertainment fan-focused Comic-Cons across the West Coast, including Beaver State Comic-Con, Metal Arc, and Medford, Tri-Cities Powerhouse, Silver Age Comic-Con, and of course, Gem State Comic-Con. Comics, cosplays, vendors, artists, celebrity guests, and so much more. Visit ColossusGirlENT.com. Plan your next Comic-Con. Boom.
Yes.
Hell yes. Well, with that being said, let's jump into all the news and all the goodies we got right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start it off here with our little download going on. But we're gonna start it off here with straight from Jay Jonah.
Ooh. All right. So I'm hosting this. Maybe he is Marvel Jesus. Instead of launching straight into the long-anticipated X-Men reboot, a new rumor is saying the studio is leaning towards bringing Deadpool 4 to the front of the line, setting the stage for a very different start to the MCU's next chapter. Marvel is considering pushing Deadpool 4 into production as soon as Avengers Secret Wars wraps filming. So, what do we think here?
That's interesting.
It makes a whole lot of sense. You know, James, why is it interesting?
Well, it's funny because that's their property now. It's kind of the experiment of, can Disney take another IP that, you know, was like at Fox before, bring it under, you know, the Disney umbrella and make it work? Deadpool is the example. It's the answer, and the answer is yes. So them starting with Deadpool is a great way to start it off. And Deadpool breaks all kinds of rules. I know a lot of people are up in arms about like the multiverse and what's going to happen. How are we going to do this? You know, which Earth is this? Which Earth is that? Deadpool doesn't care. Deadpool's just going to go like do it and make it all work. And we're just going to be along for the ride. So I'm totally okay with them starting with Deadpool.
Yeah. Wade gives no fucks at all whatsoever. I'm excited for this just mainly because it makes a lot of sense. They're one of their best performing properties in this phase was Deadpool, so it makes a lot of sense for them to kind of lean in and say, hey, this is what's going on next. I know that Ryan Reynolds has been fast writing Deadpool 4 since they were happy with all the success and everything like that. And I'm
Yeah.
sure he kind of already knows like where all the storylines are going and everything like that. So after Secret Wars, kind of like we've got these new universes. Okay, let's see what's going on with Deadpool.
Yeah, and we're kind of reporting that Ryan Reynolds is looking to do kind of an X-Force style thing, I guess, again. But for real this time. Yeah. So I think it'd be interesting. So in 2028, Marvel has 3 major release slots. There's one on May 5th, July 28th, and December 15th. So the assumption has been that the X-Men film would take the May slot, would take May 5th. But now it could be that the 2028 lineup is Deadpool 4, an X-Men movie, and Black Panther 3, which, I think it would kind of kickstart the X-Men phase, if we're gonna call it that. And then of course, Deadpool and Wolverine did really, really well, did 1.4 billion worldwide. So people love Deadpool, people love Ryan Reynolds, so it makes sense.
That Deadpool Wolverine doing 1.4 million, that was in that July slot, that kind of right as Comic-Con is happening slot. So it's kind of the big.
It was really good timing for
Yes. So I could see it taking either that May spot because that kicks off the summer blockbuster season, or being like that anchor being in that July slot. So
again, I think that where the theaters kind of mess up with this is, or where the studios mess up with this is they think that time means anything, and it's not that time has anything to do with how well a movie does. I mean, they're looking at like historically, but it's because they're putting the good movies out in those months. I think honestly, it doesn't matter when you release the film. It matters more how good the film is.
Right. And how will you market it? How will you tell people, hey, this is the thing?
Right. I don't think people care when the movie comes out. Oh, it's in the summer. So, like back in the day, that was a thing because, theaters were like the only place where you can go and get air conditioning. But like now, it's not as big of a thing when it comes to that. And I think that just guys start focusing on good movies. That's all that
make
matters.
good movies and then just release them when they're ready.
Right. It doesn't matter what the time slot is.
I agree with you, but there is a sense of like timing when it comes to like things in the rest of the world are happening. Like when did Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch come out? I forgot what weekend they came out, but like that was a huge weekend for cinema. They did like $500 million just those 2 movies alone. Something crazy like that, where it's just this huge push into the summer season. So, I could see them ramping into this, and then picking up on where Comic-Con is, or when Comic-Con is, I should say.
Yeah,
I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
Very well. So we'll see if this X-Force project ends up being Deadpool 4. We'll see.
I think it will be.
We'll see. I hope so. All right. So we got our next story here. So where in the world is Captain Marvel? A new rumor has surfaced about the return of Brie Larson's Captain Marvel in the upcoming event film Avengers Doomsday. Industry insider Daniel Richtman claims that she's currently not in the film. Richtman posted on Twitter /X that Larson is not in it currently, adding that reshoots could change her status. Marvel Studios has made no official announcement regarding Larson's involvement in either upcoming Avengers film. So, what's going on here?
I think they got to do something. This is kind of reminds me of Thor, like Thor and Captain Marvel. They have to do something to like write them out of the story because they're so overpowered. They're so OP. Like we got to take them off the board. Just like, hey, Captain Marvel, even though you're in Endgame or Infinity War, it's like we gotta say you're off world doing other things, and then you just show up to save the day. Like it's kind of crazy how OP some of these characters are. Like where is what's her name from Secret Invasion? Amelia Clark. Where's her character?
Oh,
Right?
I
She's
don't remember
super
her
OP.
name.
Like we just disappear her and forget she ever exists. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think what's going on with all of this is partially what James is saying is that she is an OP character. She needs to be taken off the board. But also, I think that there are things happening in the background that they are going to tell in different stories. And this story that's going on here is just, kind of like the main story that's going on right in front of us. Um, as far as like, reshoots and things like that, I mean, the only reason I don't think that reshoots are going to be happening the way that some of these scoopers are saying is mainly because they're already starting to do test screenings,
Yeah.
and they're already starting to do like advanced screenings for like media and stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't think that there's going to be that much change. At least like they're not going to be writing in whole scenes for Captain Marvel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If she wasn't already a character that was contributing to the main storyline, then I don't think they're gonna just all of a sudden put her in. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
I think they kind of answered this question before. It's like, hey, there's no Nova Corps anymore. So she has to go protect the entire universe
Right.
right now. So from like, saving alien kittens to like saving planets to saving galaxies, like
Saving
that.
Flurkins.
Flurkins.
Like, yeah, like that's what they have her doing when she's not on screen and stealing the show.
Right, as
Yeah.
she usually does.
Right. Well, she's Brie Larson.
Yeah.
She's fucking
Uh,
OP.
Yeah. So is protecting just the Earth below her pay grade?
Apparently.
Apparently, right.
All right, so we're moving on here. Some dooms just want to watch the multiverse burn. According to Scooper, which is a stupid name, but My Time to Shine Hello, the MCU may be heading towards a massive reset. The rumor claims that after a key group tied to the multiverse saga is destroyed, Doctor Doom will take matters into his own hands and eliminate every timeline in existence, except one. The source didn't reveal which reality survives, but speculation has already begun. Just to kind of go over this. So, one fan theory points to Doom's own universe, and a previous rumor suggested that he originates from Earth 828, which is the Fantastic Four universe.
Mhm.
There's other rumors that are hinting that something traumatic might have happened to that universe, which I, don't know why you'd want to keep that then. Then it could be, the X-Men universe, the Spider-Verse. It could be the Sony universe. We don't know at this point.
Right. I honestly think it's still him trying to get his family back. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago where something traumatic happens to him and his family and he loses his family. And then just like what any villain or overly smart person does, they try to bend time or bend reality to try to get that family back. And that's what causes all the issues.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to do something like that where he's like, okay, if I can't have it in this universe, I'm going to go to the next one. If it's not in that one, it's the next one. He's like, and then ultimately it'll be like Battle World. We'll just take them all and be like, let me just mash them together and make them my own because I'm OP again. OP.
Yeah, and I mean, it just based on what happens in the comics, I mean, and obviously we're going to Secret Wars. My speculation is that we would be going into Battle World. It just kind of with the way that Marvel kind of writes their stories, it wouldn't surprise me if like 616 was the only universe that survives because that is like the mainstay universe that we've been in, and they're just kind of like, this is where we're going to put everything. But in the end, we are getting Battle World to kind of consolidate everything. I mean, there's two different versions of Secret Wars. They've kind of already brushed over because since they're doing a multiverse version, this has to be the 80s version of the Secret Wars, where it was, there were multiple storylines going on, they had multiple universes happening, and in order to consolidate everything, and again, the rumor is that they're trying to reboot everything. Okay, so how do we reboot everything where Marvel has every property? We have to kill off every universe and put everybody into one.
Yeah.
I heard they were going to do the Hickman version, like the more recent version where it's Doom kind of taking over everything, trying to make everything in his vision. There's the Thor core. There's
Thor core.
Sue Storm is like his wife or something like that, and there's even an evil version of Reed Richards, you know, and it's a whole thing.
If he does a Thor core, like 100%, that means we're getting Beta Ray Bill.
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting Beta Ray Bill if that's the
funny.
case. Fucking love to see Beta Ray Bill.
That would be great.
I'd be okay with that, Doctor Doom. Thank you.
No, I wonder if this will. I don't remember who it was. If it was one, I think it was, I know it was one of us. But which
It was
one?
me.
Always,
Maybe.
yeah, it's always James.
Unless I got it wrong, then it was Phil.
We talked about maybe that like Loki ties into this somehow. That maybe Doom is going to kind of invade the TVA or something. To some degree. And then could tie in if he is trying to kind of like remake the universe in his image. His ultimate goal could be going after Loki, and then you tie all that, funky stuff in there with, you can bring in the Watcher and all of that. So bring in a Watcher, yeah.
I mean, especially considering like all the stuff that's been coming out over the course of like the last couple of weeks, where people are pointing out like all of the obscure Watcher moments that are in every episode. Like, dude, he was in Daredevil. That nobody really picked up on. There's a scene where someone gets thrown out of,
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there's a scene where somebody gets thrown out of a window, and if you it's very momentary, but like when they look at the screen, two lights in the back are like where the eyes are at, and the breaking of the glass is the head of the Watcher's head.
Oh, that's cool.
No, and what's his name? Brad Wonderbaum confirmed that it's supposed to be a Watcher.
Nice. Yeah, so I definitely think he's probably going to be, in there. And again, we're going to really like dig into the esoteric stuff that's kind of in the core of the universe. And that's, I love that.
Yeah, Brad Wonderbaum posted on Twitter a picture of, like, this is from his official Twitter, a picture of the scene with the head and the eyes, and his caption under it is "They're always watching."
Ooh,
yeah, it's like,
that's
oh,
cool.
you dickhead.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah. So that even more evidence. There you go.
Yeah,
so, I think Loki will probably be a part of it. So
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, considering all the rumors we've heard and the fact that like kind of it has to go somewhere. If not here, it's got to be somewhere in Secret Wars, because
exactly,
you can't just leave the story with him just sitting at Idrisil and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So we'll see. Cool. But no, I'm excited regardless. It sounds interesting. I don't know if I want them to necessarily do a full reboot, but I'm curious how they do it.
It would be a soft reboot because
it'd be a soft. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to erase everything and like we're gonna make another Avengers movie. That's gonna be the whatever. But,
no, it would be a soft reboot where like everything in the MCU still exists, but you're able to recast people so you can have like younger actors to tell different stories. And now you can tell like Avengers versus X-Men. Now you can tell
exactly.
like you can tell a lot of those stories that you previously couldn't because you didn't have the characters. Like, I wouldn't mind another Civil War where you tell the full, like a live action version of the full story of Civil War, because the X-Men had a big part in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I'm curious. So,
I was thinking about it. Sorry, one last thing. Like, they own everything. They have the rights to everything except the Hulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they could get away with it if they did like Avengers Planet Hulk or something like that, where they made it like a bigger thing than just a Hulk movie, and they brought all these other characters into it. I think there's a way that they could get around the whole legality of they can't do a solo Hulk movie.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. If we're ready to move on.
So yes, what version of the MCU will be the last one standing? All right, so we're moving on. The CinemaCon is tingling. Sony just gave CinemaCon attendees a fresh look at Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. And even though the movie is still a long way off, what they showed is massive in scope and packed with some great character moments that fans are going to love. The sneak peek picks up right where the story, where the story last film, Across the Spider-Verse, left off. It was a confusing sentence, and teases a finale that's aiming to go all out. So we're getting the footage was drops the spray back into the chaos with Miles Morales trapped in another dimension, face to face with the Miles Morales version of Prowler and Uncle Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the situation turns threatening, Miles stays calm and warns, "I don't want to hurt you." He's restrained, but he makes his move anyway, dropping the line, "Don't watch the mouth, watch the hands," before unleashing his electric powers and breaking free. And then from there, footage shift gears into a rapid-fire montage. There's a line that says, "Let's do this one last time," delivered over what appears to be flashbacks involving a younger Aaron and Jeff, hinting at deeper emotional threads tied to Miles' past.
I dig this because there's so many callbacks to the first movie and even the second movie. Like the whole "don't watch the mouth, watch the hands." That was Jake Johnson's line from like the first movie.
Right.
You know, I love that. And I heard somebody else talk about the footage that was shown, and we get to see a lot of what Miles sees, but it's the Prowler Miles. So you see things from his point of view. You know, the whole "let's do this one last time." It's his point of view, not our Miles, not Spider-Man Miles. It's Prowler Miles.
Interesting.
So you get to see what he goes through and what happens to his dad and everything.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
They I really dug the picture of Jeff and Aaron when they're young. Because if for those who have read the comics, you kind of know what their story is. They're probably going to explain why Jefferson took his mom's last name. Because I mean, there's a reason for it, right? Like a lot of people keep asking and questioning, like, why did he take her last name if she's married to him? And like the whole, I mean, you know, that goes into deeper, like, you know, patriarchal BS. But I mean, like, in all reality, there is a story reason for why he takes her last name, not just because, you know, it's like, oh, we're trying to be progressive with it. No, it's a witness protection thing, and they I'm sure they're going to go over that, you know, because I mean, they showing Aaron and Jeff as like teenagers when they show that picture where they're like young adults. You know, I don't want to spoil it too much. I've already spoiled enough by saying what I said already, but I don't, you know, I'm hoping they tell that story for those people who may not have read the comics.
Yeah, and so all this builds towards a quiet but powerful moment from Miles' mom, where she says, "You're not tough, you're strong." So
yeah, I love that line.
So no, it's cool. And then so they brought new footage to CinemaCon, and that's so.
I didn't realize this, but
good.
My family didn't see Across the Spider-Verse. They didn't realize it was even out. Like, they love the first one.
It's on Disney Plus, man.
Yeah, so we ended up rewatching it, and I just watched all their faces as, you know, it unfolded. And at the end, when he goes to he thinks he's going back to the universe that's his, but he doesn't quite get to his universe, you know, and that reveal, and they're like, "Oh, what?" And I was just like, that was fun. It was like seeing somebody watching Empire Strikes Back, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's his father," you know. that was their moment of watching that, so that was pretty cool.
That's cool. All right, so after a long stretch of delays, the third chapter in the Spider-Verse trilogy is finally moving forward with a release date set for June 18th of 2027.
Awesome.
All right. So we're sticking with Spider-Man news. Wibbly wobbly, Spidey wimey.
Okay.
Spider-Man Brand New Day is gearing up to hit theaters this summer, but a U.S. cinema chain posted a synopsis that places the movie after Avengers Doomsday chronologically. The general understanding was previously that Brand New Day would follow the events of Spider-Man No Way Home and land somewhere before Doomsday in the MCU timeline. So what it actually says, it's from Regal Theaters.
Whoa.
Right.
Wibbly wobbly, opsis, Spidey, wimey, synopsis.
Sure, that works.
Are we going to do that?
I can do
that. Wibbly wobbly, opsis, Spidey, wimey, synopsis.
There was, I mean, there wasn't like an official little thing there, but yeah.
Impromptu.
It's a synopsis.
Impromptu.
After Doomsday, Peter Parker tries to focus on college and leave Spider-Man behind, but when a new threat endangers his friends, he must break his promise and suit up again, teaming up with an unexpected ally to protect those he loves. So that is the opsis from Regal Theaters. Marvel's official synopsis actually supports this idea, opening with 4 years have passed since the events of No Way Home, and Peter is now an adult living entirely alone. So if No Way Home takes place in 2024, that puts Brand New Day around 2028. Meanwhile, Thunderbolts is set in late 2027, and its post-credit scene confirms that Doomsday kicks off sometime after those events. So both films could occupy the same general time frame. So kind of interesting timeline shenanigans.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they figure out all these timelines, and including shifting release dates of movies.
Right.
It's amazing how Marvel can put all this together and stay like one step ahead, so it doesn't like fall behind.
Right.
And they kind of like already know what's going on. They kind of already know, Marvel's genius when it comes to like how they, keep the timeline like working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. It really is going to be interesting to see how they do everything here.
Yeah. So Marvel math is harder than new math.
It is.
Spider-Man Brand New Day swings into theaters on July 31st.
Although don't give new math any kind of credit. New math is pretty stupid. So we're gonna continue on here.
All right. We're sticking with Spider-Man. It's lonely at the top of a skyscraper. Sony came out swinging at CinemaCon with a fresh look at Spider-Man Brand New Day, teasing a story that strips Peter Parker down to his most vulnerable state. The footage shown drops us right into Peter's new reality, and it's kind of rough. He's in a bodega on the phone when Ned walks in, and doesn't recognize him, of course. Peter quietly follows Ned to a party, holding flowers, clinging to some small hope of reconnecting. There's a bunch of details here. So
how sad is that he's just alone and he's just sees his best friends?
I know, it's
like every other day.
But I think part of it is also just kind of that's the sacrifice he had to make in order to protect everyone.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of go through the footage real quick here. So there's a callback. He picks up a little Chewbacca minifigure, a little Lego minifig, which is a nod to their friendship back in Homecoming. Ned's wall is covered in Spider-Man clippings as he tries to figure out who the hero is, so he can thank him face to face for saving him so many times. Ned even created a Spidey Tracker app, which is he has been suspecting people like Mr. Harrington or Flash Thompson. Meanwhile, Peter just stands there, invisible in plain sight.
That's interesting. So Ned is looking for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is what leads to Peter going it's me. That's
so you got to remember on this too. So everybody knows Spider-Man. Nobody knows Peter Spider-Man. They don't remember Peter. He's their kind of neighbor at this point, from what it seems like everything that we're seeing on here. But Spider-Man is constantly saving MJ and Ned. So the whole thing is like, because he still wants to protect them because they're his friends, but he's not their friend, kind of thing,
Right.
But
there's no rule, right, that he can't reveal himself. Right?
No, and that's the thing, is that he's probably gonna tell them, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, the neighbor guy? Why? That's kind of creepy. Why are you just always protecting us?"
Right. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting.
Okay.
So continuing the further a little bit. So MJ walks in. She has a new boyfriend played by Iman Esfandi, who played Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka. Who walks up and says,
that wasn't Flash Thompson that she was kissing in the trailer. Then.
That was not. That was a separate new character.
Okay.
Who I remember had a name that was some connection, but I don't remember it right now. So he walks up, says, "That's my girl," and just kisses her right in front of Peter, which that wrecks him. And then it shifts to Spider-Man, battling villains like Boomerang and Tarantula. We get another little quick scene where he's surrounded by Department of Damage Control agents as well. And that's kind of where the footage ends. So, sounds like it's a turning point for him, because he's not just about saving the city. He's kind of got to figure out who Peter Parker is when no one remembers him. He's got to figure out who he is without the people that have been around him.
Right. I'm going to be honest. What I think is going to happen. So one of the things that is on my mind that I think is going to happen, where, everybody's like, oh, it's going to be so oversaturated with villains and there's going to be so many villains. I think a lot of these villains, what they're gonna do is do a montage of him saving New York.
Mhm.
It's not gonna be him like, they're not gonna be like main villains. They're just gonna be like little here is a montage of him saving New York multiple times, and here are the villains that he fights on a regular basis. And I also think that that's where they're gonna do like little comic book cover scenes is in those montages. Like in the middle of those montages, it's gonna like be a scene that slows down, and there's your comic book cover. There's your
Right,
credits.
exactly.
That's smart.
That could be
That
cool.
is smart. Like, and they just pepper those in nonstop.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
You know,
Honestly,
Cool.
I think what we saw of Punisher is pretty much his role in the movie. Like him passing by, Peter passing by Punisher and was like, "Frank, what are you doing? Get out of here, Frank." And that's pretty much
Go home. Right.
Punisher's role
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, and I feel like, during this montage of him fighting these villains, they'll probably have like one or two of them be longer than the other ones, right? So like Tarantula and Boomerang, like they're such minor villains that he fights that they're not gonna like spend a lot of time on them. They're just gonna show him fighting them. But maybe they slow down the scene where he fights Scorpion and it's more like a 30-second scene with a little bit of dialogue and then goes
Yeah.
back, so you think of like those types of scenes where you have this, Spider-Man's always saving people, and maybe Peter's working at the I was gonna say the Daily Planet, Daily Bugle. Maybe like Peter's working at the Daily Bugle at this point, and he's like, a photographer, and these fights that he's doing, these covers are like him setting up a camera and taking pictures of himself. And it's these montages where, like, again, you show him fighting people, getting like putting people in webs and going, have a nice day, and then jumps off a building or something like that.
Oh my
And then-
gosh, that's great.
Right. And then some of the scenes slow down for comedic effect, and it's him, smack talking Scorpion, and Scorpion, like, again, it's a callback to earlier movies because we already know Scorpion. We already know Scorpion exists in here. And it's Peter fighting a fully realized Scorpion. But I don't think these characters are characters that he is going to be fighting the entire movie.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a little one-off, like
Right. I think
yeah.
this is just going to be a montage to show the growth that he's had.
maybe somewhat like we could even get something like the beginning of Fantastic Four, where we get like maybe a news broadcast voiceover from like Jay Jonah or something,
Right.
and and that's over Peter saving people.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that bit of it's Peter working at the Daily Bugle, taking pictures of Spider-Man, and then those pictures become the comic book covers. And they've already shown that in some of the footage is him on like pretty much the comic book cover of like him swinging, holding somebody under his arm like that.
Right.
Like I could totally see them doing a bunch of those. That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah. And then, like I said, that way, everybody's talking about, oh, with all these villains, it's going to be oversaturated. Not if they're in one scene.
Yeah. But also, people said that about Superman and, villains and heroes and things, and that was fine. So I think they can pull it off.
And it could also show like that's his life, even though he's doing all this nonstop. That's his life, and when it slows down, he's got nobody, and it's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why he's constantly out there catching bad guys, is because that's all he can do, or he can be alone, and he doesn't want to be alone.
Right. And it could again tie into the same themes as like Thunderbolts and things too, where you're talking about kind of burnout and like being, Anyway, I'm excited about it. It sounds interesting. So Spider-Man Brand New Day swings into theaters on July 31st. So now we have talked to Jay Jonah, and it's time to teleport to the Watchtower for some DC news.
Oops.
Sweet.
Oh, did I not? I guess I didn't put it in on this one. All right. So it is the we're going to be watching the Watchtower, and the story we have here. Sorry.
This one came in
stuff
like this afternoon, like late this
Yeah, this is all brand new.
again
Yeah.
from CinemaCon, maybe?
Yes, this is from CinemaCon.
CinemaCon's kind of a big thing. I don't know if you knew about that.
CinemaCon is a small. I don't know why they would
Itty
would just do that. It's a small little mini con that nobody knows about.
Itty bitty.
But it's so small. It's the smallest of the cons. It's just smaller than any con that I've ever done. But is Maxima secretly Wonder Woman? So Adria Arjona is officially stepping into the role of Maxima in James Gunn's Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, and the upcoming sequel from James Gunn. It's a big swing from from the franchise and a character that could shake things up in a major way. Arjona reportedly tested for the part alongside Ava de Dominici, Sydney Chandler, and Grace Van Patten. So Maxima, for those who don't who know their DC lore, is an alien queen with a complicated history, very complicated history. She's been both an adversary and a romantic interest for Superman in the comics, which opens the door for some fun and unpredictable dynamics on screen. It's going to be fun dealing with the beautiful Adria Arjona, facing off with Lois Lane. It's going to be pretty hilarious. Off screen, Arahona's connection to the DCU gets even more interesting. Her boyfriend, Jason Momoa, is also making a major shift within the franchise. And by shift, I mean the main man.
Yeah.
Fragging.
How much do you want to bet somewhere in the future we'll get both of them in the same movie?
Oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I mean, Lobo might show up in this movie in Man of Tomorrow.
You might. Yeah, because Supergirl might be back. Because if we're going with like a certain Brainiac story with Maxima in it, then yeah, you get Supergirl.
We're doing Brainiac, and we're gonna be getting President Lex. Like this is literally gonna be what tees up Lex for running for president of the United States, and he's gonna be President Lex,
which would be great commentary.
I think we reported a couple weeks ago that she may be in the running for Wonder Woman,
right?
But I kind of like that idea. But they kind of give her a fresh role. Like the world doesn't really know who Maxima is, so she can do whatever her and James Gunn want to do with the character,
right?
So I think that's a good way to handle this.
Yeah,
so, good for them.
That's pretty good. So with production ramping up in Atlanta and a release date set for July 9th, 2027, Man of Tomorrow is ready to fly.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
It's amazing how planned out the DCU is right now.
It is. And again, for a lot of people who are just impatient, it's like, well, I love the movies that are coming out, but some people are like, it's not enough, it's not fun, it's not this, it's not that, and to those people, I say, shut up and let it happen. Okay.
Some people are just going to complain.
Some people really are just going to complain. Ladies and gentlemen, well, that's it for Straight from Jay. Oh, sorry, not Straight from Jay Jonah. From watching the Watchtower.
All of the above.
So yes, obviously my my energy levels are not where they should be. So that means I should be hanging out with our next sponsor. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by the good folks over at Debbie.
Woo! Okay. Here we are. There it is.
Debbie is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction with no jitters or crash. Debbie contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Debbie at www.debbie.gg. Use the code NERDING10 and get 10% off your order. Delicious. It is great, and it is amazing. So let's jump into this next segment here. It's time for some headlines.
Woo.
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
All right, let me dive in. Oh, by the way, for more news, trailers, reactions, check out Distance Nerdington Post on Facebook. It's a group. Let us know what you're nerding out on, and we're going to post all the stuff after this. So if you want to talk more about any of these stories, it'll be in the Distance Nerdington Post.
That's right.
First one. Some shaken, not stirred casting news. The search for the next James Bond is on, and a new name has entered the conversation, with MGM, Amazon, now steering the future of the iconic spy franchise. Fans are watching closely to see who will step into 007's tailored suit. According to a new report from Variety, so it's from Variety, the latest rumor points to a younger, fresh-faced Louis Partridge in the mix. The outlet notes that the young Enola Holmes and disclaimer actor is now in contention for the job. Honestly,
I can see it.
I can see it too, but he looks really young.
He does.
Like
Yes.
I don't know what he looks like today, but in Enola Holmes, he did look very young.
The only way that I would want Bond to be that young is him not having 00 status and showing, James being a young MI6 agent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and kind of almost like that. Oh, not Jack Reacher. What's the other show that's on? It's another Jack show.
Like Lioness.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan, like almost like Jack Ryan, where Jack Ryan's an analyst and he becomes a field agent.
Oh,
Like I kind of want something along those lines. Like I don't think Bond would have ever been an analyst, but I mean, like,
Right.
you have something where like he's just a young agent and he learns about the 00 series, 00 program, and leads into that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, money penny.
Oh yes, money party.
Yeah, I can see it. I like that idea of like maybe they're gonna tell an origin-ish type story. And have we ever got an origin story?
Casino Royale was supposed to be his first mission
Right.
as a 00 agent,
But not what got him to be an agent.
not what got him to being a 00 agent.
Yeah.
That, like, basically it does his the final assassination that give, because you have to have 3 assassinations in order to become a 00 agent.
Mhm.
So like it like shows his last assassination, him killing the dude in the bathroom, and that leads to his 00 status, and he becomes 007. First mission is Casino Royale. So
I may be a 00 agent because I could kill a bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
pretty sure you are
Yeah.
a 00 agent after the amount of bathrooms you've killed.
Yeah, that is murder.
Moving on. Next one is a Toy Story. Pixar is heading back to the toy box. Toy Story 5 is officially on the way. Director Andrew Stanton is hinting that the next chapter could take a much heavier turn. This time, the threat isn't a toy collector, daycare chaos, or even being forgotten in a closet. It is technology. When tech comes in, it wins, says Stanton, which he told Empire Magazine. It happens to adults, it happens to kids, it just wins. This seems like a sad movie right off the bat.
Yeah.
Toy Story 5 might end up being the most emotionally intense entry in the series. You know what's funny, though? This is something I think we can all relate to, on how much tech has taken over all of our lives, whether we know it or not, and has affected people in our lives. Like I watch my kids on technology all the time. It's like their go-to,
Yeah. And you could throw in some commentary about AI in there too.
Yeah.
Because that is a big emerging thing, and that's being used in kids' toys and shit, which is horrifying. So
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like we've talked about this
Yeah.
multiple times.
We kind of have, because they
Yeah.
announced that it was going to be like the lily pad is the
Right.
Mm.
And I feel like we watched the trailer and we were talking about how like menacing the lily pad is.
Yeah. No, it sounds if they're gonna keep doing Toy Story movies, it sounds like they're at least, trying to put some themes into it that are interesting. So
yeah. So Toy Story 5 is playing in theaters June 19th, 2026. Oh my god. It's like in 2 months.
I know. Mortal Kombat is out right now, so that's what I'm gonna go watch this weekend.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Looks like Jack Black let the mushroom out of the bag.
Yes.
I didn't know they were in a bag. It looks like Jack Black may have gotten a little too comfortable on the mic and dropped a surprise that Nintendo fans weren't exactly supposed to hear yet. During a playful interview with Cinemex, where Black and Donald Glover were riffing and freestyling about Bowser, things took an interesting turn. Black said, "Don't be surprised if you hear that coming out next time. It's good in 2029." So we're getting a third Super Mario Brothers movie in 3 years, which is interesting because the last one came out in 2023. This one came out this year, so it tracks.
Yeah.
It definitely tracks that we'd be getting a third one in 2029.
The rumor right now, the prevailing rumor, is that the next movie is going to be Luigi's Mansion.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you
I
imagine
was
if
going to
that-
go with Super Mario Odyssey or something, but
What if they like set the release date like closer towards like Halloween and just like, September and just take over for like 2 months straight?
Right.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Right. I mean, that would be cool because then again, the trailer alone would get kids running around as Luigi with the backpack.
Yeah. Right.
Ghostbuster Luigi.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Nice.
He's a cop on wind. I read that wrong.
He's a cop on it's a Firefly reference. Oh, there you go.
He's a cop on the wind. Take 2. ABC.
We can fix it in post. We can fix it in post.
Yeah. It's a Firefly
He's a cop.
Anyway, go.
On the wind. ABC has renewed the popular cop drama The Rookie for a 9th season, making it the 3rd longest running ABC drama series after Grey's Anatomy, which is headed into season 23.
Ridiculous. Grey's Anatomy is ridiculous with the amount of seasons it has.
And NYPD Blue, which ran for 12 seasons. The show has become a popular source for TikTok clips, and its teen viewership has boosted its ratings. Nothing sounds correct with that, but yeah. And you know what it is? It's his funny quips. That's what it is. It's his funny sayings that is getting well on
But
TikTok.
that also makes sense why he specifically decided to do like when they were doing the ramp up to the announcement for Firefly.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. That Fillion was like running around as the Rookie, picking everybody up as his character from the Rookie. So like it makes a whole it tracks so much more now.
Yeah. ABC got some investment in the show because next season, The Rookie may be tasked with launching a new ABC series, a spinoff called The Rookie North, currently in the pilot stage and looking promising that it's going to happen. So, yeah, they're going to invest a little bit in Nathan Fillion.
Which they should. It's Nathan Fillion.
I'm okay with that. Give me Firefly. Give me more Rookie. Maybe I go back and watch it. It'll be great. Maybe I start a TikTok. Who knows?
Yeah.
You should start a TikTok, dude. Like we're having fun on TikTok.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, people are still mad at us.
Yeah.
Actually, it was
a lot of different reasons.
If that was the next story, I would be, but no. We'll get there.
Another pint of Guinness, make it 3. If you've been following the incredible rise of Wrexham AFC, there's a lot more story on the way. FX has officially renewed Welcome to Wrexham for 3 additional seasons, extending the life of the hit docu-series well into 2029. They got renewed for 3 seasons at once. That's crazy.
It's like one of my favorite shows. I love Welcome to Wrexham.
I know. So do I. I enjoy it too. I've just never heard a show getting 3 seasons in a chunk like that.
I think part of it is also because it is a docu-series and it is something that is both like funny and informative, and it's interesting to kind of see, Wrexham becoming the powerhouse that it is.
Yeah. It's interesting. So Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds also addressed the renewal, and you can feel how much this project means to them. A 3-season order for a TV series is nearly unheard of and is only possible through the groundbreaking work of our Emmy-winning documentary team and the relentless rise of Wrexham AFC and all those working so hard to make this sports history. I do think it's a cool story overall. Absolutely. I do like it.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And I do enjoy the show. So season 5 will premiere May 14th, kicking off with 2 episodes before settling into weekly releases on FXX and Hulu.
Love it. Like it. Love it. I'm going to keep watching it. I love this show so much.
Yeah.
Speaking of good shows, was Tyrion actually a xenomorph the whole time?
Apparently he's not a
Targaryen though.
Yeah, he's not a Targaryen. He's a xenomorph.
Okay. The Emmy-winning powerhouse Peter Dinklage is officially stepping into the Alien Earth series as a series regular.
Ooh.
I love the first season of this, so this is awesome that he's joining the team. Details on who Dinklage will be playing are being kept under wraps, but dropping someone like him into the mix should be interesting. Alien Earth Season 2 is gearing up to begin production this May at Pinewood Studios in London.
Ooh,
Right.
He's going to be one of the one of the corporate like CEOs.
Yeah, 'cause what are they? They have like 5 big corporations or something like
Right.
that are all fighting.
And Dinklage plays ruthless corporate monster extremely well. He's
Mhm.
done it in like multiple movies and then
Including Elf.
I was about to say, and someone better not call him an elf.
I was gonna say he did it in Elf. He did it in there's another X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He did like a
No, he played Bolivar Trask, who is like, again, a ruthless CEO. So I mean, like,
yeah.
I can see Dinklage playing one of the CEOs of one of the one of the corporations.
Yeah. That's funny.
I love that Dinklage is like one of the few actors of kind of like of how do I say this without like being a dick?
Shorter stature.
Of shorter stature, of his stature. There we go. Perfect. That transcends that kind of like stereotype.
Mhm.
Like usually there are stereotypes for actors that are of his stature. And he transcends that. He plays because he's such a good fucking actor.
He is. Yeah.
He plays whatever character you put in front of him, and he does it well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be good. Okay, I am gonna keep it going here. Some more somber news. The studio prepares its return to Hollywood for season 2. The cast will be missing one bright star following Catherine O'Hara's passing. Seth Rogen confirmed the upcoming season will be acknowledging the Golden Globe winning actress passing after originally writing it for her to be there before she passed. Obviously, emotionally dealing with the loss, but also when it comes to the show itself, we wrote it for her to be there. She was like a huge part of the show. We had it all set, and the shockwaves permeated throughout the entire new season. It's been difficult. You worded it better than we could. She was the anchor, and now the show is anchorless. Roger explained, if anything, we acknowledging the idea that we are a little anchorless, but honestly, that is a part of life and what we all experience. And so while we try not to dwell too much on heavy themes in the show, there will be there in the second season. Or not ignoring it. That's good. Good for them. The studio's season 2's return to Hollywood is expected to release in late 2026 or early 2027.
Another show I'm anticipating coming back is the studio was so well executed. I love that show by a lot.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show. Shidu, if you haven't watched that one I recommend, and it'll make you think twice about.
It's on my ever-growing list.
Your filmmaking career. So.
Oh, I fuck Hollywood. No, that's.
But
I said that a long time ago.
It is like, I mean, it's a comedy, but it is interesting, like them playing into the behind the scenes. A lot of people have said like a lot of like the themes they cover are like real issues that happen behind the scenes. So, and also the way it's shot is amazing. Like that, what is it called? That one episode, like the one shot.
Yeah.
The oneer, yeah.
The oneer, where they're trying to get everything before the sun goes down. Yeah.
A great episode.
I can relate to that.
If anything, just go watch that episode, even though it'll make you want to watch the rest of the season.
I'll just watch. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's move on.
We're getting creepier and kookier with some casting news. Creepy and we're kooky. Wednesday is still deep in production in Ireland, and now the series has added 3 more names to its growing roster of guest stars. Lena Headey, Andrew McCarthy, and James Lance have officially joined the season 3 cast in a guest role scenario. Headey is.
I was gonna say fucking Cersei Lannister. Making her way into another franchise.
Yeah.
And of course, Trent Crimm, Independent.
Yes.
So Hetty is best known for Game of Thrones, McCarthy for Weekend at Bernie's, and Lance from Ted Lasso. That's awesome. That's a big cast so far. Wednesday season 3 is expected to release on Netflix sometime in 2027.
Nice. All right.
2-7 or 6-7?
No.
No, 2-7.
No, we're not doing that.
7, 8-9.
We're also doing it.
Well, we're not doing that.
6-7, 8-9.
I was annoyed with my generation anyway. Like,
Yeah, you could be annoyed with ours too when we do.
Exactly. We're just a
I
bunch of
am,
old
it's okay.
men doing it now.
I'm annoyed with most generations. It's fine.
Okay, I think that was my last
That
one
was
shot
your last
story.
story.
The last
So
bit. So
before we get into news,
Exactly.
we have Disinserting is part of the Geek Freaks Network. Discovering your latest binge, debating casting choices, or still not over that plot twist, the Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people. Geek out your way. Check out the Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com. Once again, that is gfpods.com.
Yeah, we're a part of the Geek Freaks Network.
Woo.
We're geeking and we're freaking.
Geeking and we're freaking.
That link is not. Somebody needs to change that link. That is not correct.
No, so that is the actual link, but the GF Pods is the shortened version of it.
Okay, I got you. I wasn't sure if that was like, yeah, there was a disconnect.
Yeah,
there. Cool. So either one. All right, and we'll get into news. And first up, pray to the old gods and the new. It's been 17 long years since A Dance with Dragons hit shelves, and in that time, the world of Westeros has expanded across TV with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, keeping the franchise alive in many different ways. But the one thing that fans have actually been anxiously and impatiently waiting for is the next chapter in A Song of Ice and Fire, The Winds of Winter. But now, according to a rumor, George R.R. Martin has finally completed the manuscript for The Winds of Winter, and his publisher has had it in hand since January. The same rumor suggests that an official announcement could arrive around Comic-Con, with a full release planned for the fall to line up with the holiday season. So what do we think? Is this finally happening?
Is that? I was gonna ask real quick. Can a book happen that fast? Like,
yeah,
I guess they have it. They could always be sitting on artwork, I guess.
I mean, the thing that takes the longest is writing it.
Yeah,
like, formatting and stuff does not take that long.
Yeah, it's 100%. If the rumor is that the editor has it, they're probably more than likely, if they've had it since January, they've been printing it, and that's what takes the longest. Is the longest as far as getting it out once it's been written. Obviously, it's been fucking 20 years since he started writing it. But I mean, like, if he's finally ready for it to go out, and I know he mentioned that I was reading an article earlier today where in an interview he was talking about he had it finished a while back, but because of some of the popularity of characters on the show, he changed things. So the show actually forced him to change a couple of things. So one of the things that he revealed that he changed, because again, he talked about this like officially in an interview, was originally Sansa was supposed to die.
Oh,
yeah. So he said originally in the original version of the story, Sansa dies, and he was saying he was muddling with himself over still killing her because she is so popular on the show. He felt like he would have gotten a lot of backlash for killing off Sansa Stark.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, like either way, like it's kind of expected that people would expect him to kill off major characters, but he felt like people would have really been angry if he killed off Sansa Stark. Yeah. So he was like, okay, so then that was one of the things he was willing to reveal that he changed, but mostly because it said it took him about a couple of months to really muddle over whether he wanted to kill her still or not.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope this is true. But also we've been fooled before. So yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I love that Aaron goes, with the power of AI, anything is possible.
I really thought this would be a Wheel of Time situation. He would just die, and then like Brandon Sanderson would come in and finish it. But
Brian Sanderson finishes it.
He just, I feel like Brandon Sanderson is just the guy you call. It's like, hey, the author died, but we need to finish this series. Can you come in and do it?
I also feel like something major is happening before the book comes out, because I mean, like, if anything, the book is not coming out until the end of the year towards next year.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while for them to do it, but he's probably going to announce it and say, "Hey, we're finally going to release this fucking book."
Right.
But also the fact that we're getting a stage play with
Mad King.
with the not the Night King, with the Mad King, yeah, with Ares the Second.
Yeah.
I think that he is setting up. I think he already knew. It's like, hey, I already put this out, and we know this book is coming. We have a release date internally. We haven't announced it yet. We're going to say it at Comic-Con. I feel like this play is also something to kind of tee up events that are like things that have ripples that go into winter.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get it. I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like he's the book's going to be coming out, but it's like, hey, here's a little bit of context to make you really hate these characters when you get to Winter.
Right.
I think it's interesting
cool.
how authors and creators are using stage plays as like these side quest stories that really lend towards the overall storylines of the projects, like what Stranger Things did.
Right.
That's and honestly, Harry Potter's kind of doing the same thing. So I think that's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, by the way, I also want to note, Game of Thrones fans waiting 20 years for them to have something of substance come back. You guys feel a lot like Raider fans because we've been waiting 20 years.
We've been waiting for 20 years for your
Get
team
back.
to do anything.
To commit to excellence. So
I mean, I think it'll take at least this long for the Elder Scrolls 6 to come out. So,
exactly. So, good for you, Game of Thrones fans.
Good for you.
Keep waiting.
So yeah. So will winter finally come?
It is. Winter is finally coming.
Woo! Hopefully. We'll see.
We're gonna see Arya.
I'm in doubt before there's, unless there's an announcement. So
yeah, we're gonna see Arya kill the Night King, and like finally, and actually see how she kills the Night King.
there isn't a Night King in the books, is there?
Yeah, there is. That's the whole point, is that they're preparing themselves for the for the Night Walkers, for the Night Walkers to kill everybody.
Okay, cool. I didn't think there was actually a Night King in the books, but cool. Yeah. So a slightly shorter time ago, something interesting is happening in the galaxy far, far away, and it looks like we may not be picking up exactly where we left off. A newly released Star Wars companion book is hinting that the Mandalorian timeline is moving forward before the Mandalorian Grogu film lands in theaters. So, at the end of Mandalorian Season 3, Din Djarin and Grogu finally carved out a little peaceful corner of the galaxy on Navarro. Now, thanks
On
to
James's backyard.
Right, exactly.
We got
Now, thanks to the Mandalorian, the visual guide via the holophiles, we're getting a better picture of what's been happening since then. According to the book, Mando and Grogu have grown quite comfortable on Navarro between assignments and have made a life for themselves. The wording suggests time has passed, and not just a few days or weeks. So yeah, so are you excited for this next chapter? Moving a little bit further here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Mandalorian Grogu. I do kind of like that they're pushing the story slightly forward, and it gives them almost like a fresh start. Like, okay, we've been doing this because I think he's going to be bounty hunting again, or like bounty hunting, like Empire.
Kind of, right? It's like he's more of a mercenary. It sounds like.
Yeah. But they're in a groove, and then the story kicks off. I like this. I'm in.
Yeah, no, it sounds interesting. So could be a little bit, tying into some other stuff and to obviously the larger story with Thrawn and everything. So
actually, let me ask this question: do you think we're gonna get Thrawn in Mandalorian and Grogu?
I could see there being like a post-credit scene or something.
I think it makes sense because we know that Thrawn has come back to the universe. We know that we're already getting Rebels characters in Mandalorian and Grogu. And we know that Ezra Bridger is back in the universe because he was on Thrawn's ship. So either either way, we're either going to get more in Ahsoka season 2, which we probably will, or we're going to be getting a bridge and like a connection in Mandalorian and Grogu. And I mean, judging by some of the footage that we've seen, I wouldn't put it past them to be hiding that, and Thrawn still being kind of like the overall villain in all of this.
Yeah.
Or like he's like the Thanos, like the teaser scene.
He's like at the end, like whoever the villain of this or whatever is gonna like go up to Thrawn's to the what I don't remember what his ship is called, but like go up to Thrawn's ship and be like do the Thanos thing. Very cool.
I think that'll happen.
I'll do it myself.
Right, fine. I'll do it myself. Yeah, we're good.
The Chimera.
The Chimera. Yeah, I knew another cool name. I was gonna remember. The Mandalorian and Grogu will space minivan their way into theaters on May 22nd of 2026.
Yes.
All right. So
now, I was talking to Joe, and they do. He confirmed without spoilers that the whole thing that I thought was going to happen, they are going to explain how he gets another Razor Crest. He doesn't get the Razor Crest; he gets another Razor Crest class ship.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that.
So that's
at the space minivan dealership.
Perfect. The space minivan dealership.
The only way you can get that is at the space minivan dealership.
Yep, on Corellia.
That's where I'm going after this.
It's on Corellia.
All right.
You think about it, the Corellian ships are a bunch of cargo ships.
Yeah, they are. They're freighters that for some reason have laser cannons mounted to them.
No, that's an aftermarket thing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, all right. Yeah,
he added the turbo lasers himself. He talks about that. Oh no, he doesn't talk about it, but they explain it in one of the books that he.
Okay, that's all like you just buy the turbo lasers. That's funny.
I mean, he's a smuggler, so I mean,
no. It makes he could have stolen them. I guess
he deals with a lot of weapons dealers, man. I mean, it's not hard for him,
that's a good point.
A guy of his caliber, to get turbo lasers to put on his ship.
Yeah,
he retrofitted the hell out of that ship, though.
So we are, we're sticking with Star Wars news. Somehow, Maul returned. Star Wars Maul Shadowlord is digging deeper into Darth Maul's past. With a new tease from the show's director has sparked fresh speculation that Maul's fate isn't as locked in as we once believed. When asked about Maul's potential return, supervising director Brad Rao kept things cryptic, saying, "You never know. We're just focusing on this one time period right now." That comment is enough to get longtime Star Wars fans thinking. After all, Maul surviving the impossible is kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Rao also hinted that Star Wars Maul Shadowlord won't just be a straight path towards a known ending. Even if audiences know where Maul eventually ends up, the journey there might still throw some curveballs. The show has quickly become one of the highest rated Star Wars projects, with strong reactions across the board, not just revisiting a familiar character, but expanding on him in ways that feel fresh and unpredictable.
Wow. What if Maul survived? But he's just sitting there on Tatooine.
But he did.
Again. Like again, he just keeps doing it. It would be really funny if Maul was like Duncan Idaho and just kept fucking coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Duncan Idaho's whole storyline has an entire him coming back in Dune Messiah. Again, we haven't seen the movie. But if you've read the books or you've even seen the
that's what I'm referencing.
Yeah, we know why Duncan Idaho comes back, and it's not like how Maul comes back.
I'm making a joke, but
the way Maul comes back is way cooler than the way Duncan Idaho comes back.
He got cut in half in the first movie.
Yeah, and then he gets turned into a fucking half robot.
It would be really. He just keeps getting robot parts, and eventually we have like a Terminator Maul.
Yeah, by the time he gets to Rebels, he gets one little lightsaber nick. Come on, that's like 'tis but a flesh wound compared to getting cut in half. Come on,
people have survived getting stabbed before.
So. Yeah, you are referencing what happened to Anakin in the 'tis but a flesh wound.
Yes,
that's fine.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
He'll live. Maul's out there. Maul's out there.
Yeah.
He's the Black Knight of Star Wars, isn't he?
Because Anakin lost both his arms and his fucking legs. Yeah. And he just got up and goes, "I hate you!" Or
all right.
or he does one of these.
So, Star Wars Maul Shadowlord is on Disney Plus right now. Go watch it.
It is fun. It is. I do like it. I do enjoy it. It is
Uh,
everything that you love about like a Filoni Star Wars story, just applying to Maul. It's great.
All right. So, our final story here. Do you prefer your churros blue or furry? Disney revealed plans to bring a second Avatar-themed land to Disney California Adventure. It makes total sense.
just skip over.
Now, things might be changing. A new report suggests Disney could be rethinking that expansion following the performance of Avatar: Fire and Ash. The film pulled in nearly $1.5 billion globally. That number apparently isn't enough to confidently push forward with multiple sequels. That number apparently isn't enough to confidently push forward with multiple sequels and a major theme park investment. That seems like it should be but all right. The whole situation ties to a bigger question about the long-term viability of the Avatar franchise. Even James Cameron has acknowledged how expensive these films are to make. If they don't hit massive expectations, the return gets a little bit more complicated. One of the biggest clues comes from the existing Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue attraction. The ride was originally set to close in early 2026 to make room for the new Avatar land. That closure has now been pushed to 2027. That kind of delay usually means something bigger is shifting behind the scenes. So what replaces it if it doesn't move forward? Well, right now, all the signs are pointing towards Zootopia. The sequel reportedly crushed expectations and ended up outperforming Fire and Ash by a wide margin globally. Shanghai Disneyland already has a Zootopia-themed little park, and fans love it. The attractions there use a similar ride system to, I guess there's just going through rides. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that's the tongue twister, which is easier to maintain compared to the complex water ride-based system that an Avatar land would likely require. Less cost, less maintenance, and a hotter IP. That seems like a strong combo. So, would you rather?
It's more kid friendly.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly right. It's like it's what's raining.
It has more lasting value in like a Disney park, even though like Star Wars or Marvel can be a little bit more adultish. It still has a lot of kid tones. There's not a lot of kid tones in Avatar.
Right, exactly.
By the way, just so everybody knows, we are on the trend up right now. Shadu just skipped over me, so it's fine.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, there is a trend up there. See, I didn't even realize that was there. I just completely.
You gotta look down for the trend up.
Yeah, but
look, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's more so people know that we're in the next segment. So.
Yes, we're in the trend up. Sorry, apologies.
This is what's trending on the internet right now, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as far as this goes, it makes sense. It makes sense in a way where you have a theme park that is mostly meant to be a children's attraction theme park.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you have there are a lot of fun things you can do with adult properties. Deadpool kills it in Avengers Campus, right? Like I mean, Star Wars has mixed themes where you have some adult themes and a lot of like kid themes, things that kids can enjoy. But kind of like you were mentioning a second ago, Avatar is very much an adult concept. It's not it's family friendly, but not meant to be like for families. You know what I mean?
You can't have naked 9 feet tall cat people.
And that's what I'm getting at with it not being family friendly. The portion of it not being family friendly is because you have a bunch of naked cat people walking around, right? Whereas Zootopia twice has broken box office records. So Zootopia makes a lot of sense. And Zootopia is one of those things that in Disneyland is already underrepresented. So I see it making sense to level a parking lot and level a Monsters, Inc. ride in order to make an entire land about Zootopia.
Yeah.
One thing, like, okay, so for years they've been talking about wanting to get rid of Toontown. Right. And then they'll revamp things in Toontown, but they don't like fully get rid of Toontown. And like where that makes sense would be to turn Toontown into Zootopia.
Yeah.
You can turn it into the city.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, they wouldn't have to do a lot of new building and new infrastructure for that.
And that's what I was going to say. The existing infrastructure makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like to do that. But that being aside, they're moving it over to California Adventure. So again, where they excel is by turning it into its own little small city.
Mm-hmm.
I say you need to make the little gerbil city from the first movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because just imagine how much kids would love running around a little miniature city.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Toontown, that's where they have Mickey's Runaway Railroad, and it's a great ride. It
No,
really
right.
is a great ride.
There are really good rides there because not just that, there's also the Crazy Taxi ride, the Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we get rid of that. That's fine.
But I mean, like, there are a lot of pluses and minuses to what you can do. But I overall, whether, and again, it seems like the decision is they're putting it in over by the Hollywood area where the Monsters Inc. ride is. But whether you put it there or you put it in Toontown or anything like that, it makes more sense to do Zootopia than it does Avatar. Avatar can stay in Safari Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
In Florida. And I mean that I've never been there. I've never seen it. I'm sure James has been there because he's been to everything Disney. But I mean, like,
I haven't been. Come on now.
But at the same time, just from what I've seen of it, it looks amazing. Like that whole ride and experience looks just because the animatronics on it are like super next level and everything about it just looks really cool. That whole like trip into AWA and all that, that's like a really cool thing. But again, that's one of those things where it's a niche thing that, as immersive as that world is, I don't think Disney needs to explore it a lot. Zootopia is a world that makes a lot of sense for the kind of demographic that they're going for at Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the parks and how they differ, like Disneyland isn't about big roller coasters and big rides. They're about
Experiences, right?
So I think them going with a Zootopia that can offer like a good experience for a family versus like, what is it, that Tron ride or that Avatar ride in Disney World? Like Disney World is competing with Universal Studios and everything over there, and so they need that big thriller stuff, whereas Disneyland doesn't need that. They just need to sell good experiences and keep people coming back and back, keep families coming back and back. So
right,
I think
so the rumor is that they're trying to find a space at Disneyland to do to recreate the Tron ride. And I think that's cool because again, seeing the one that was in Beijing looked super cool, and then they rebuilt rebuilt it track for track at Disney World, super cool. And now because it's so popular, they want to build it at Disneyland. But the problem is they don't have this giant fucking preserve like they do in Disney World.
Or are they gonna slap it in the middle of Anaheim?
Yeah, like they don't have this property size the size of the city of San Francisco like they do in Florida,
Exactly. I was also thinking, like, as much as Avatar was such a hit, and James Cameron talking about like he's not sure if he's going to make number 4 or number 5 because his vision and the cost are so high that it's almost like, is it worth making this film unless it makes 2 billion back? And the last one didn't make, I think it broke $1 billion, right? The last one, number 3.
Right.
To look it up. But so the franchise kind of may be ending. So,
right. But I mean, they've already filmed like the next movie, and I think they already have a filming schedule for the 5th one. So I mean,
yeah. So, but I'm okay with Utopia. I like it. I think that's a much better fit for Disneyland.
Yeah, for Disneyland especially. I think that's good.
Absolutely. I'm not against the few moves that Josh D'Amaro's has already done, and I kind of we called this already. We said that Josh D'Amaro was going to make good decisions, and so far it's been seeming like he's been making some pretty good decisions in the short time since he's taken over. So I'm just hoping he continues to make good decisions. You know what I mean?
I agree. Was that our last story?
I believe that was our last story.
We did it.
We did it. Yay! All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into all the schedules here. So this show, Distance Nerding, is brought to you from 6:30 to 8:30 on Tuesdays, where we talk news, rumors, all the fun things. Thursdays, the Distance Nerding interviews, which formerly was called The Build. Now, this week's guest, fun enough, is Chris Yates. Chris Yates is another comic book creator. Again, we talk to a lot of comic book creators just because I like to talk about creative things and you know, just the fun things that these guys do. Let's see. It's in the email. All right. But yes, Chris Yates's book and everything like that. We're gonna go over that on Thursday. So if you're into indie comics, that's Thursday's the place to be. I am currently building Bumblebee, the Bumblebee Lego kit. So I'm going to continue building Bumblebee here because Transformers are the shit. And then, of course, the Fridays, the Buzzer. I think we're all going to be free for some.
I think so. Yeah. As far as I know, I think we're doing D&D.
I think we're playing some D&D this Thursday. So yeah, let's get into that, guys. We're gonna be jumping in and playing a little bit more of the Great Khan and having 4, possibly 5 assholes pissing off Shadu. So it's gonna be great. Well, at this moment here, Shadu, I need all your pluggables. Give me your plug, sir.
Ooh, all right. So I am at SHU Studios pretty much everywhere. And for my music, it is at Shadu Music. I talk about lore, world building, writing, and pretty much everything else. So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you would like to follow us on all the social media places, we are there. If it exists, we are there. And of course, you can join the taco party. Head over to distancenerding.com. Hit the big blue button at the top. Join the taco party. It's the best way to support Distance Nerding. It makes so we can do more shows. We can continue to support Distance Nerding and get better prizes and stuff like that, guys. I know I haven't done the giveaway for the 600 subscribers, but we're this close to 700 subscribers, so I'm just gonna do one big giveaway. I think we're like 15 away from 700 right now.
Ooh, nice. All right. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I was trying to find time, but it's like, okay, let's schedule a day where we just do a giveaway. And I'm just gonna give away a shit ton of Lego. So we're gonna do that. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, connect with us everywhere if it exists at Distance Nerding. Email us at distancenerding@aol.com. If it exists anywhere, social media, we're there. And hit us up, guys. So with all that being said, James, take us home.
Thanks, and keep nerding together.
All right. Woo! We'll see everybody later.
We'll see you next time.
Everybody have a good night.
Deuces. Bruce, go to sleep.
Bruce, go to sleep, buddy. Yes. Sleepy time. Go to sleep.
Bruce, go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Distance Nerding.